I'm going to tell you something that most women will never admit out loud. Something that might save your relationship, your sanity, and potentially years of your life from being wasted on someone who's already mentally checked out. You see, men, when a woman is preparing to cheat, she doesn't just disappear overnight like in the movies. She starts lying. But not obvious, clumsy lies that you'd catch immediately. She uses specific phrases, carefully chosen words that sound reasonable, even caring. Phrases that make you feel guilty for even suspecting anything is wrong. Phrases that flip the script so masterfully that you end up apologizing to her for having basic relationship concerns. I'm going to expose the 4 specific lies women tell right before they cross the line. Because, brothers, these phrases aren't accidental. They're not random emotional outbursts. They're strategic psychological manipulation designed to create distance, confusion, and guilt while she prepares her exit strategy. And at the end of this video, I'll tell you the most important secret, the one thing you must do when you hear these words coming from her lips. Because your response in that crucial moment will determine whether you save your relationship or lose years trying to fix something that was already broken beyond repair. But first, if this content helps you protect your relationship and your heart from psychological manipulation, hit that like button right now. And by the way, tell me what city you're watching from. Female psychology knows no borders, and these patterns show up in every culture, every age group, every economic background. The women in my practice come from all walks of life, but they all use these same 4 lies. Lie number 1, I just haven't been in the mood lately. And men, here's where most of you make a fatal mistake that I see over and over again in my practice. When a woman says these words, every instinct tells you to believe her. It sounds honest, right? It sounds understandable. Everyone has dry spells. Life gets stressful. Work gets overwhelming. Bodies get tired. Hormones fluctuate. It seems completely reasonable. But here's what I know as a woman, and what I've learned from countless conversations with women who've cheated. When we're genuinely tired or stressed, we still crave intimacy with the man we love. We might want cuddles, tenderness, emotional connection. We want to feel close, even if we're not up for full physical passion. The desire for connection doesn't disappear just because we're tired. If anything, stress makes us want to feel safer, more connected, more loved. A woman who truly loves you will seek comfort in your arms, not push you away from them. She'll want your touch, your presence, your warmth, even if she's not interested in intimacy specifically. But when a woman completely shuts down from physical intimacy for weeks or months, when even touching feels like a burden to her, when she flinches away from casual contact, like holding hands or cuddling on the couch, when she creates physical barriers by always wearing more clothes to bed, always being too tired for any form of physical affection. This isn't about being tired, men. This is about redirection. Her body didn't stop wanting intimacy. It just stopped wanting intimacy with you. Here's the psychology behind it that most men don't understand, and that women rarely admit even to themselves. When a woman is emotionally investing in another man, her body naturally starts to protect the relationship she's building with him. Intimacy with you starts to feel like betrayal, but not betrayal of you, betrayal of him. She's already given her emotional energy to someone else, so physical intimacy with you feels wrong, dirty, like she's cheating on her new emotional partner. You become the obstacle to her new emotional reality, and her body responds by making physical connection with you feel wrong, uncomfortable, even repulsive. The cruel irony is that she's not lying about not being in the mood. She's genuinely not in the mood for you anymore, because her mind, her heart, and her body are already somewhere else, with someone else. Watch for this specific pattern. She says she's not in the mood for intimacy with you, but she's more energetic about everything else. New workouts that she's excited about and talks about constantly. New clothes that make her feel confident. Suddenly caring about her appearance in ways she hasn't for months or years. She's taking selfies again. She's buying new perfume. She's shaving her legs even when you haven't been intimate in weeks. She's reading romance novels or watching romantic movies with a dreamy expression. Lie number 2. I just want to focus on myself right now. And here's where this lie becomes especially insidious, and where I see most men completely miss the warning signs because it sounds so psychologically healthy. Oh, this phrase sounds so evolved, so mature, so psychologically enlightened. Self-work, personal growth, finding myself, healing my inner child, working on my boundaries, discovering my authentic self, exploring my identity. And you, as a good partner, you support it wholeheartedly. You even admire her commitment to self-improvement. You think, finally, she's taking her mental health seriously. This is good for both of us. But let me tell you what this really means in female code, based on what women tell me in private therapy sessions, when they think no one else will ever hear. I'm creating emotional distance between us so that when I take the next step towards someone else, it won't feel like such a big betrayal. To me, you see, men, real self-work in healthy relationships includes the partner. It says, I'm growing and I want us to grow together. It looks like couples therapy, shared goals, honest conversations about what needs to change in the relationship. Real personal development in a committed relationship sounds like, I'm learning about my attachment style, and I want to share what I'm discovering so we can understand each other better and be closer. Healthy personal growth in a relationship is collaborative, not isolating. It brings couples together, doesn't drive them apart. But when a woman suddenly wants to grow in complete isolation, when your support, your opinions, your very presence suddenly becomes an obstacle to her growth, when every suggestion you make about growing together is met with resistance or irritation, the psychology here is crucial to understand. She needs to create a version of herself that exists independently of you before she can justify betraying you. She needs to convince herself that she's outgrown the relationship, that she's evolved beyond what you two have together. The cruelest part? She'll make you feel selfish for wanting to be included. She'll frame your natural desire to share her life as control, as possessiveness, as lack of support for her growth. She'll say things like, you should be happy I'm working on myself, or why can't you just support my journey without needing to be part of everything? Or, I can't grow if you're always trying to be involved in my process. And every time you express confusion or hurt about being excluded, she uses it as evidence that you're holding her back, or threatened by her growth, or not supportive of her becoming her best self. Real personal growth in a committed relationship looks like this. I want to become a better version of myself, and I want you to be part of that journey. I'm learning things about myself that I want to share with you because sharing my growth with you makes it more meaningful. Fake personal growth sounds like, I need space to find myself, and that space can't include you because your presence interferes with my authentic self-discovery. The difference? One includes you in her evolution because she wants to grow with you. The other uses evolution as an excuse to grow away from you. Lie number 3. You're being too controlling. You ask a simple, logical question. Where were you? Who's this new co-worker you keep mentioning? Why are you coming home so late recently? Can I see your phone real quick? Who were you texting during dinner? These aren't unreasonable requests. These are normal relationship check-ins that healthy couples do without thinking twice. And boom, suddenly you're controlling, you're possessive, you're insecure, you have trust issues, you're being toxic masculine, you're acting like her father, not her boyfriend, you're suffocating her, you're threatened by her independence, you're revealing your own insecurities and emotional immaturity. Men, as a woman, let me be crystal clear about something that I tell every male client. When a woman has a clean conscience, her first reaction to questions is answers, not attacks. A woman who's telling the truth responds with specific details and welcomes your interest. Oh, I was at Sarah's. We were talking about her divorce, and I completely lost track of time. Here, look, she texted me about it earlier. She's really struggling and needed someone to talk to. Or, Mark's the new project manager. He's really smart but reminds me of my cousin. You'd actually like him. He's into the same sports you are. Want to see his LinkedIn profile? A truthful woman doesn't get defensive about reasonable questions because she has nothing to hide. She understands that transparency builds trust, not destroys it. But a woman who's hiding something, she turns you into the villain for daring to ask. She makes the question itself the problem instead of answering it. She attacks your character, your motivations, your worthiness as a partner. Here's the red flag, men. If simple questions trigger disproportionate anger, or if she makes you apologize for having basic relationship needs, that's not your paranoia. That's her defense mechanism. Watch for this pattern. Every time you express a concern, she turns it into a character attack on you. Every time you ask for transparency, she accuses you of being controlling. Every time you trust your instincts, she makes you feel crazy for having them. Every time you try to address relationship issues, she makes you the issue. A faithful woman doesn't get offended by reasonable questions because she has nothing to hide. She says things like, "Of course you can see my phone here," or "I understand why you'd be curious about that. Let me explain everything." Or, "I can see why that might seem strange. Here's what's really happening." But a woman who's emotionally or physically involved with someone else, every question feels like an interrogation because every honest answer brings her closer to exposure. So instead of answering, she attacks your right to ask. Lie number 4. I just want us to be honest with each other. And this final lie is the most devious of all, because it sounds like everything you've ever wanted in a relationship, like the answer to all your communication problems. This phrase sounds like every man's dream, right? Finally, mature communication. Finally, deep honesty. Finally, the kind of transparent, authentic relationship you've always wanted. Finally, a partner who values truth and openness as much as you do. But here's what's really happening. And this is based on patterns I've seen hundreds of times in my counseling practice. She's setting the stage for selective honesty. She wants the right to tell you less while demanding more from you. She's creating a framework where she can control the flow of information while appearing to be the mature, evolved partner who values communication. Here's exactly how this manipulation works, step by step. After this conversation about being more honest with each other, she starts asking you more probing questions. About your past relationships, about women at work, about your thoughts and feelings, about your fears and insecurities, about your family dynamics, about your financial situation, about your future goals. She becomes intensely curious about your inner world, your history, your vulnerabilities. She wants to know everything about you, your childhood traumas, your intimate history, your deepest fears, your biggest regrets, your most embarrassing moments. She frames this as intimacy, as really getting to know each other on a deeper level. But when you ask similar questions of her, when you want the same level of transparency she's demanding from you, "We agreed not to be possessive of each other," or "I thought we weren't going to be controlling anymore," or "This feels like an interrogation, not a conversation," she uses your own desire for honesty against you, weaponizing the very openness you thought you were building together. See what she did? She's not asking permission. She's informing you of decisions she's already made, using honesty as a shield against your objections. She's created a situation where objecting to her behavior makes you the one who's not honoring the agreement to be honest and trusting. The reality: she's not becoming more honest. She's becoming more skillful at how she presents partial truths so that you feel grateful for scraps of information while she maintains control over what you know. Real honesty in a relationship is effortless, mutual, and consistent. Watch this specific pattern. She'll tell you honest things that make her look good or generate your sympathy. "I have to tell you, Jennifer said you seemed distant lately, and I defended you." Or, "I want to be honest, I've been feeling disconnected from you, and I think it's because we don't communicate enough." But she won't tell you honest things that actually matter. "I have to tell you, I've been texting my ex every night for 2 weeks," or "I want to be honest, I have feelings for someone else," or I need to tell you, I've been sharing intimate details about our relationship with another man. And the cruelest part, she'll use your appreciation of her selective honesty to make you feel guilty for wanting more. I'm being so open with you about everything. Why can't you just trust me? She makes you feel unreasonable for wanting complete honesty, while she's only giving you curated, managed honesty. Now, men, here's the most important part. What to do with this information, because knowledge without action is worthless. And I don't want you to just recognize these patterns. I want you to protect yourself from them. Listen carefully, because this could save you years of your life, thousands of dollars in therapy, and immeasurable emotional pain. When you hear any of these phrases, don't argue. Don't try to convince her otherwise. Don't start playing detective or become the relationship police. Don't try to logic your way through her emotional manipulation. Instead, become an observer. Watch actions, not words, because while her mouth might lie to you, her behavior never does. Here's your practical guide for each situation. If she's not in the mood, notice if she's making an effort in other aspects of the relationship. Is she still affectionate in non-intimate ways? Is she still interested in spending quality time with you? Does she still touch you casually, hold your hand, give you hugs? Or has she withdrawn completely while simultaneously improving her appearance and seeming happier about everything except your relationship? If she's working on herself, see if that growth includes you or systematically excludes you. Does she share what she's learning? Does she want to implement positive changes in your relationship? Does her growth make her more loving, more present, more connected to you? Or does every aspect of her growth require distance, privacy, and separation from you? If you're controlling, honestly, analyze if your questions were actually unreasonable. Are you asking normal relationship questions that any caring partner would ask? Are you requesting basic transparency that healthy relationships require? Or are you actually being possessive and invasive? Trust your gut, but also be brutally honest with yourself about your own behavior. If she wants honesty, observe if you're getting more genuine truth or just more elaborate explanations and justifications. Is she sharing more of her real thoughts, feelings, and experiences? Is communication actually improving? Or is she just giving you more sophisticated reasons why she needs privacy, space, and freedom from accountability? And most importantly, trust your intuition above everything else. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Your gut instinct is picking up on micro-expressions, tone changes, energy shifts, behavioral inconsistencies that your conscious mind hasn't fully processed yet. When every logical explanation she gives you conflicts with what you feel in your chest, believe your chest. The right woman will never require you to be a detective in your own relationship. She'll make the truth easy to see, not impossible to find. If this video gave you clarity you didn't have before, like this video. Write the city you're watching from in the comments. Subscribe to our channel for more truth about relationships that could save your heart and your sanity. Remember, you deserve better than manipulation disguised as love.